Yo, what is going on, Yeet Nation? We're back. We're Madden 24 action. We're back in the Chiefs playbook in the formation gun spread double flex week. And the money play that we're going to be going over is right behind me, flanker dig. And because we have a handful of plays already in the Chiefs playbook, this is just going to be another wrinkle you can add into your offense. And this play is incredibly frustrating to go against for multiple reasons. One, it's got a lot of dink and dunks with the ability to stretch the field, and you don't need any adjustments to make this play happen. So you don't need hot route master. You don't need any special abilities. You can just call it, read the defense, call hike, and then of course, dink and dunk, dot, and stretch the field as needed. You're going to use this play when you want to start controlling the clock, start slowing the game down, wasting the clock, and then of course, frustrating your opponent. So we're going to be in flanker dig on the offensive side, and on defense, we're going to start with the basic formations, basic plays, and then after that we'll start diving into more specific stuff, and then we'll start randomizing everything. All right, we can see we're rocking cover 3 on the defensive side. Now, whenever you want to create a money play or a money scheme, you have to have a route that beats both man and zone defense. And for us, it's going to be Brandon Ayuk, the circle receiver, on that dig route. It absolutely torches man and absolutely torches zone, because it's able to easily fit in the soft spot. We also have the streak by Kittle to make sure that deep third doesn't get any right ideas to try to jump that dig. So of course it's going to have to be manually guarded. And because we know it has to be manually guarded, we're going to make sure our opponent respects that. And then of course, when he tries to, we're going to be attacking the opposite side of the field. Now, the hook flat combination ran by the square receiver and then Christian McCaffrey is absolutely money, because the route McCaffrey runs is a little bit more unique, because he kind of flats out and then he wheels up the sideline. Now, if I put him on a regular swing route, he doesn't necessarily get that wheel up the sideline in the play art like he currently does right now, which makes it so when you check it down to him, if need to, then he already has that running start up the field, which makes it easy to pull a juke move, get extra yards after the catch. And of course, hook routes in this game are super underutilized, but super effective, because I don't know if you guys ever noticed, if you man one up, the defender always just plays behind it and never goes in front. So you have to shade underneath specifically if you want him to try to play that hook route. And usually even then, they still don't do it properly. So hook routes are incredibly strong this year, underutilized, and you're going to want to abuse that in this play. And of course, drag routes, mesh, super popular this year. Drag route ran by Deebo Samuel, always going to be there. You're going to want to attack it to force the user low, and then of course, that's when you hit Brandon Ayuk over the top. So the reads on this play, super simple. I know, I apologize. A lot of rambling, not a lot of showing off the play, but don't worry, there will be a lot of it. The reads on this play going to be the hook by square receiver, followed by McCaffrey, the running back. He's going to be read number 2. Read number 3 is going to be Deebo Samuel. And last but not least, the backside in route ran by Ayuk is going to be read number 4. So of course, let's start it off. Let's see, when we call cover 3, we're looking at that slot cornerback right now above Deebo Samuel. Is he going to go to downward and for us to hit the curl, or is he going to drift upwards for us to hit the flat? That's going to be the original read that we're going to make on this play when we see cover 3. So right now we see him, he kind of dips down, boom, go there, pick up the easy 10-15 yards if you're able to make a man. All right, once again, all right, we're seeing him, he's drifting up, and because McCaffrey's going on that wheel route, we're able to just easily throw it to him. You see he gets a running start up the field, and at that point, you know, obviously it's up to you if you want to start getting sticky with it, throwing jukes out on the field. It's practice mode, so I'm not going to sit there and try to juke the CPU and all that good stuff, but you can see it's there. You make a man miss, you're picking up 10-15 yards. And even if you don't make the man miss, you're picking up an easy 5-6. You're able to easily control the clock in this scenario, especially when you have a vertical offense like I do in the previous plays in the Chiefs playbook that I break down there. You're able to kind of slow the game down, kind of control the tempo, and then of course, drip the clock while still pushing the ball down the field with ease. Now, of course, the drag route, it's a drag route in zone defense. You know, it gets underneath all the zones. You have no issue hitting it whenever you want. And of course, it's up to you how exactly you want to rat catch that and turn up the field. You throw it right here, throw it in the middle, you're going to pick up the easy yards. But of course, you know, it's up to you and how you're going to want to attack that middle of the field. Because you also have, also at the same time, you're going to have to assume the user is going to be in the middle of the field. So of course, you want to be careful when you're throwing over the middle, especially once you start hitting the drag route multiple times. The user obviously is going to want to sit there and try to jump it, right? And of course, that is when you start attacking the Brandon Ayuk dig route. What we're going to do real fast, we're going to take this guy and we are going to man him up to Deebo Samuel. We're going to say, all right, that's the user right there. And he's taking away the drag route. He said, all right, I had enough of you hitting it. I'm going to take it away. And for whatever reason, you miss the reads to the hook flat, go to the dig route, and you can just see it's right there for you with ease. That's probably a good time to add some Mutt Champs gameplay. As you can see right now, he completely ignored the flat, and you're going to see us hit it multiple times here. And then eventually the user just says, all right, I'm going for it right away. And right now, the way he just kind of moves across the field and making it easy for us to hit McCaffrey, turn up the field, pick up chunk yards is pretty phenomenal in itself. And of course, you can see right now he's back on that side of the field trying to take away the hook flat, and that's where we're starting to attack all across the field with the backside in. We're hitting the drag, we're picking up chunk yards, and of course, you guys could see us with an easy lead as a phenomenal throw just happened right there. And right there, we're hitting the hook. You know, of course, we're just going through our reads, going through our repetitions, and making sure our opponent realistically doesn't have an ability to get a catch on, get a handle on what we're doing, because wherever he goes, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And of course, we're just going to hit that backside in or out one time for the one time. And you guys could see from the score, even without manning him up, and he's still playing that hook zone, you can see Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, absolutely wide open. Seam routes are popular in cover 3 to hit because you're able to fit it in the soft spot on the zone by Kittle, the X receiver. The only problem with this play is that by the time you're able to hit Kittle, Brandon Ayuk is right in that vicinity. So you kind of have two receivers in one zone. It makes it kind of an awkward hit. Here, I'll try it right fast right now. You could hit it, but at the same time, like Brandon Ayuk, he's right there. So it makes it kind of pointless to hit the seam streak on this play. If anything, it might be better to put George Kittle, of course, if you have Hot Route Master, on a different route. Maybe something that would give you a little bit more purpose. But, of course, I like to leave him on that seam streak because sometimes I'll just put Brandon Ayuk maybe on like an in. Just like that, something really, really fast. That way he doesn't get in the way. And then I could just give him something other type of a wrinkle for the opponent to worry about. But typically, I'm not really hitting seam streaks. I don't feel like I need to. And when I want to call this play, I'm kind of trying to control the clock. And then picking up 30 yards on a chunk play isn't necessarily the point of it. So, of course, that's why I don't necessarily hit that seam streak all the time. Or even attempt to. Of course, the point of this right here is to just absolutely control the clock, make a man miss. Because, of course, the point of this play is to dink and dunk your way down the field effectively and efficiently while controlling the clock and being effective while doing so. Probably hop into another defense after this. Switch it to cover 1 because cover 1 is a popular defense this year in Madden. You know, every eligible receiver has an assignment and the user has the ability to free roam across the field without necessarily having any worry on the field. For, of course, either he could jump that drag, he could jump that backside dig. But of course, on this play, if you go hike, that hook route is going to be absolutely open in man defense, especially off man. If he tries to manually man blitz you, you could just hit a hook route, pick up quick 10 yards, get that first down, milk the clock a little bit more, and rinse and repeat if he actually wants to be hard-headed and stay into that. Routes this year, I don't need to sit here and tell you guys that it beats man defense, right? And I'm sure you guys have noticed the backside in route. Brandon Ayuk is doing a phenomenal job beating Patrick Surtain, one of the highest rated cornerbacks in Madden 24. I didn't put Patrick Surtain by accident. You know, I put him there specifically to showcase that it doesn't necessarily matter if an elite top tier echelon quarterback's there, you're going to torch it. I will say is you kind of have to worry about the ratings on the tight end speed wise compared to your wide receiver, because if they have like big variations between the two, they might actually collide into each other. So right now I'll leave it right here the way it is, and you might see Kittle collide into Brandon Ayuk a little bit, and you get that kind of awkward interaction there. So you might actually have to put George Kittle on a streak in this instance instead of keeping him on that fade to make sure he doesn't get in Brandon Ayuk's way if you're trying to hit that backside in route. So just like that, they don't interact with each other at this moment, and you're able to get a clean release to the inside. And if the user decides to take that away, of course, you got that legendary 10-yard hitch waiting for you. So cover 2 probably does one of the better jobs of containing this play, because if you notice, the outside receivers, they might get a press animation if they have default flat zones on their outside cornerbacks. And if they do, they're going to get a press animation on there, and it'll redirect the hook route into the middle of the field a little bit to make it an uncomfortable throw, because it'll be in the vicinity of the slot cornerback. I'll showcase it real fast right now. You can see it right there. It's a tough window throw. You're not going to want to throw that in Ultimate Team. That's probably an interception. So if you see a press animation ran by the outside corners, what you're going to do is just hit McCaffrey on the wheel route. When he's occupied with the press, you're going to go and, of course, make a man miss. Pick up your 10 yards, rinse and repeat. And of course, in cover 2, I don't necessarily have to keep describing you how open that drag route is going to be. That is an easy 7 to 10 yards per pop without making a man miss. Once again, a drag route in cover 2 must be manually guarded if you want to stop. And you're going to need to consistently hit that drag route, because in cover 2 as well, those hook zones that I'll showcase right here, they do a good job getting enough depth to stop that dig route across this field. So I'll try to hit it right now, but you're going to notice it's going to be a very tight window throw, and you're probably going to get an interception, which is why you need the user to go underneath to try to take away the drag route, and then that's when you hit him over the top with the dig route. So right now I'll try to signify the user going and trying to take away the drag route. I'll man him up. So boom, we manned up the drag, and then we can see the dig route finally have a spot underneath in order to fit that zone in. That's how you're going to want to attack cover 2. You know, you're going to hit the underneath, and then of course that'll give you the opportunity to go over the top once he manually takes it away. Or you can just audible to vert comebacks over here and then hit Deebo Samuel across the middle of the field. And then you get yourself a little one-play touchdown, which is kind of nice there. But of course, that's not necessarily the purpose of this play. You want to control the clock, frustrate your opponent, run the ball, and then you're going to, of course, collect that easy dub. But of course, you know, if you just want to style on your opponent and you see cover 2, then I'm not gonna tell you don't do this. But all right, so I switched to man blitz because people are gonna run man blitz against you, and you need to know how to beat it out of this play, or else, of course, it can't be considered a money play, right? So they're going to all blitz, and then usually they're going to manually guard the running back themselves. So you have multiple options on what you can do on the defensive side. You could, one, and what you probably should do is block the running back. And because why? You're going to need time in the pocket to make sure you don't just get insta-sacked. And 2, because if you, I'll just put him back in his default position right here. It was right here. If you keep McCaffrey on his wheel, flat wheel combination, the safety guarding McCaffrey will accidentally find his way to be close enough to make a play on the hook route. Here, I'll call hike if I have time in the pocket to showcase it. But he's like right there by accident. And of course, if you're playing against a good user, he's gonna be able to click on fast enough and get that interception. So one, if you see a man blitz just like this, you're gonna either wanna, manually either put McCaffrey somewhere else, either get him on the opposite side of the field, get him away from that hook, or you're going to want to manually block him to make sure that safety doesn't find his way accidentally over there. And of course, I'm going to always recommend blocking the running back against the blitz to give yourself more time in the pocket. And of course, once you give yourself time in the pocket, you could just easily hit the hitch route over and over until he finally decides either getting out of this or manually guarded himself. And of course, if he does that, then all the other routes, for example, the drag route across the field, it's going to be open, so on and so forth. And then of course, if you really have time in the pocket and he takes away the drag route and you happen to miss the hook route read, then of course, you're going to have your backside bad throw right there. They had some collision action. And of course, if you're going to hit that backside in route in a man blitz, then of course, you're going to want to block the running back to make sure you have time in the pocket. And once you do, then of course it's a foot race across the sideline because there's nobody there in front of you. So of course, that's going to wrap up this play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I broke it down good enough for you guys to understand it, be able to implement it into your play. Hopefully the live MUT Champs gameplay showcases that, hey, this is a good play. This is a frustrating play, and it is something difficult to stop while you're able to easily push the ball methodically down the field. So of course, if you wrapped up this video, if you enjoyed it, hey, please like, subscribe. This is probably one of the fastest growing, best channels when it comes to getting better on the offensive side. But other than that, hey, good luck, everybody.